Take one. Hello out there in internet land. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good night, whatever time it happens to be. I'm David, and this is American in the Philippines, a channel Joy started a while back. And Joy's not in this video because she's lazy and she didn't want to be in this video. She's not feeling good. But my version sounds more funny, so I like it. Okay, so we always start off with subscribers, and want to thank you for watching this video and all of our videos. We know that's why we're here. Our subscribers are all the way up to 3,269. Yeah, thank you very much. We appreciate it. We really do appreciate it. If you're watching this video and you're thinking about it, please do hit that button. It doesn't cost you a thing. It's painless, easy to do. If you like the videos or we give you some information that's good, give us a thumbs up, like. And if you are subscribed, please click that bell notification to let you know when we're putting out another video. So today is going to be a little bit, maybe a little bit controversial, but it's something expats need to know before they get over here. Today I'm going to talk about hospitals and the difference between the Western world and the hospitals here. Specifically, the way you treated and admitted and that kind of stuff. It's almost like you're held prisoner, but I'll get into that. Okay, let's get going. Differences of the hospitals compared to the Western world. Okay, so you're going to go to the hospital and you're always going to the hospital not knowing exactly what's going on, or maybe you do know what's going on. And hospitals, you're going to want to try to choose the private hospitals because they're better hospitals. They have the better equipment, and in general, they're going to be less crowded. So if you go to the public hospital, it's free for Filipinos. So they're going to be packed in the hallways and everything else. You're going to want to go to the private hospitals. But going to the private hospital, they might require money before any treatment can be done. So it doesn't matter if you're having a heart attack. It doesn't matter if you have a serious thing going on. You come into a hospital, private hospital here, they're going to want to know that you have financial capabilities, and they're going to want money up front before they do anything. So before you get admitted, before you go upstairs, before you go into being admitted, they want to know you have money. So as an expat, a lot of the hospitals out here, they're going to see you as an expat, and like most Filipinos, they think you're rich. So a lot of times if you're an expat, they're going to be like, no, come on in, we'll treat you. And it might mean that the hospitals push for admitting you into the hospital for something that's a minor issue. I've been to a hospital here, had a flu bug, not feeling well, but not hospitalization. And they tried to push for hospitalization. No, you need to be admitted. No, I don't need to be admitted. I had kidney stones, same kind of thing. They wanted me to be admitted to hospital. I didn't need to be admitted to hospital. But they want the money. The hospitals need money. So that's the main difference. I think hospitals in America need the money too, but here they really need the money and they push for the money. So if you're expat, be aware that they might try to admit you even when you don't need admitted. Make sure you stand your ground. So another difference here in the Philippines is once you're admitted to the hospital, you need what's called a watcher. So in my case, that was Joy. Joy has to spend all of her time in the hospital with me. She takes care of anything that the hospital says they need. So she's had to go get medicine from close pharmacies when the hospital didn't have it. A lot of times the hospital will have medicine and sometimes they won't. And if they don't have what the doctor says you need, then your watcher has to go out and get it from the pharmacies in the town. It's one of the reasons they want you to have a watcher. Now the private hospital I was in here in around our area in Diet, they served meals, but watchers can also go out and get food for the person in the hospital if you don't like the meals in the hospital or if they don't serve them. And also the watcher is the one that has to keep up on the bills. So the hospital is going to come by every once in a while and say, hey, you need to make a payment. It's been a couple days. You need to go down and make another payment at the cashier. And they want you to go down and the cashier will say, hey, you need to give us another 30,000 pesos, 40,000 pesos. So every couple of days, your watcher might have to go down and make a payment. So payments here, it's not like the West where you go in, you get treated, and then they bill you. Here, you're going to make a payment before being admitted, based on what the hospital thinks services might be. You're going to make a payment every couple of days if you're staying for longer term. And you're going to have to make a payment before discharge, before they release you. So that's the part I want to get into. So according to Philippine laws here, hospitals aren't allowed to hold a patient. They're supposed to get a promissory note saying they're going to make payments to the hospital and the patient can be released. But that's not my experience here in hospitals. So, and we give our experience here, and it's something I think expats need to be aware of. When you get admitted into the hospital and you make the payment to start, you make the payment every couple of days, when you go to be released, they won't release you until you make a payment. And you get paperwork with a stamp on it that the security guard wants to see when you get wheelchaired out. So you have to have that payment done. The hospitals aren't supposed to do it, but they do it. It's the way the hospitals work here. They want their money before you leave the hospital. And it's even been, in my own experience, I spent extra time in the hospital just waiting on this to get done. So I was in the hospital once. I had a panic attack, and they thought maybe angina. I had a weird ECG, so that's why they wanted me to get angiogram. I went and got angiogram up in Manila because they don't have that kind of stuff out here in the province. But when I was doing better and everything was good, I spent another couple of days just waiting. So they're not giving me medicine. They're not doing anything else. You're just waiting for the doctor to say it's good to go and for that final bill to get tallied up so you can pay it. So you can spend a serious amount of time and adding to the bill as you spend this time, just waiting to get released because they want that final payment and the doctor needs to put the rest of the charges in before they can do the final payment. So be aware, you're going to be held hostage until they get their money. So make sure you have medical coverage is one thing I would say. I have TRICARE through the military, my U.S. military time as a retiree. I get TRICARE and thank goodness it covers me over here. However, it only covers certain hospitals. So like when I went to Manila to get an angiogram, I went to a TRICARE approved hospital and TRICARE helped us through the whole process. So they had TRICARE workers in that hospital and they checked with us, made sure everything was going okay, and it wasn't like the experience that I've had out here in the province. I wasn't held hostage. TRICARE took care of everything. We made our payment for our copay, and TRICARE took care of the rest. It was great. I really do appreciate it. And if you are TRICARE, I do recommend Asian Hospital in Mandaluyong up in NCR area. Also St. Luke's up in Taguig, very good hospitals. But Asian Hospital takes care of everything for me. They have an office there that handles TRICARE. So either have medical coverage or a pool of funds, but you need to have a very big pool of funds. You need to make sure you have enough money for any medical emergency. And it could add up. You spend weeks in the hospital with a serious event, those dollars can add up quickly. So either have a big pool of funds or I have medical coverage, but I still have a copay. And I have money on a credit card. So if I had to use the credit card, I would use the credit card to help. And I also have savings, but I usually use the savings for other things. So make sure you have medical coverage or a pool of funds. And there is medical coverage over here, Blue Cross Blue Shield, AXA. There's different medical coverages. And if you're interested in that, comment down below and let me know. But there is medical coverages over here. And you need to know that you're going to be paying before you leave. That's the big thing to know. And that's what I wanted to get out for all the expats that are coming over. You never know when you might have something happen and you end up in the hospital. There is dengue over here. You could get bit by a mosquito and end up pretty sick. Or just having a motorcycle accident is pretty common over here. God forbid, break a bone, something like that. Or just we're all getting older and you might end up going to the hospital. So you need to know you're going to be paying before they let you leave. And it's something you need to be aware of. So that's another video for today. Hopefully this was good information for you, and hopefully, knock on wood, you don't end up in a hospital and in the situation where you have to be paying before you can leave. Okay, so we'll see you again soon, and we'll be back with another video in a couple of days. Boss, I'm done. I'm done. Hey boss, I'm done. I'm done. Done, 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 done.